All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, the playing and singing of our national anthem. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore. Pleased to have Colin Treadway in the booth with us this evening, helping us to bring you tonight's action between the Cascade Christian Challengers and the Creswell Bulldogs. And we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Mark coached the Cascade JV boys just a little bit earlier, and then I just got through coaching a road game in Shady Cove for the Cascade Christian Middle School 6th grade girls. But we made it in time, and it is a privilege to be here. And, well, they're bringing the starters out on the floor while they're doing that, and we'll set those for you momentarily. How'd your guys' game go?
We won.
All
we
right.
managed to pull off a victory. It's looking up the score here, 35-26.
All right, our game went to overtime.
Oh, no.
And we ended up pulling it out, a game that I wasn't sure that we were going to win, but we made it.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And it's with cameraman out sick tonight, Wyatt Rainey down for the count this evening, but thanks to our executive producer, Joe Brett, for Table Rock Sports for bringing Colin Treadway in to help us out this evening to bring you tonight's broadcast. Let's talk a little bit earlier today with Challenger player Tristan Wallace in the halls of Cascade Christian, and by every indication, he's talking like the expectation is this is going to be a good game tonight.
It really will be. This Creswell team, their record is not really indicative of how good of a team they've been. They've lost a bunch of games to some really good teams by just a few points, and if you look at the last few games, they've lost 49-48, 46-51, so against some good Santiam Christian and Harrisburg teams. So this team is a little better than their 10-7 record indicates, I think. Starters
for Creswell, we got Caleb Lee, number 2. Number 3 is Connor Hansen. Number 5 is Jack Nguyen. And number 20 is Max Velarde. A.J. Hodge is number 23 for the Challengers. We'll get that for you momentarily. The tip controlled by Cascade Christian. Cody Reese will bring it out of backcourt. Tristan Wallace, he was in the high post, breaks around. He wears number 4. Peyton Maurer drives to the hole with the left hand. His shot no good. He's joined in lineup by his twin brother, Austin Maurer, for the Challengers, along with Landon Hess. Glad you could be here tonight, and we'll catch you up on the housekeeping ASAP. Right now, a shot by Velarde is short, but a good bounce goes the Bulldogs' way, and they will keep possession of the basketball. Shot from downtown, it's good. And just like that, it's a 3-0 ball game.
And they're in a 2-2-1 trap press is Creswell, and Challengers kind of knew that was coming.
Reese going to drive, kicks it out in the corner for Hess. Hess, his shot, nothing but net. Well, you got to like that, Mark.
Good start for Hess. He needs one of those. He's kind of struggled shooting the basketball the last few games.
Hess, junior, 5'10 guard. Now over to Velarde. Velarde drives, kicks, out to Lee. Velarde going to drive the baseline against Peyton Maurer. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Cascade ball. And I think what we saw on display there was one of the hallmarks of the game of Peyton Maurer, is that he's a good, strong, solid defensive player for Cascade.
Yeah, he always guards the other team's best player.
Meanwhile, quickly up the floor, Hess feeds it for Austin Maurer. And this call is going to go Creswell's way. Austin trying to plead his case there, but, well, we know how usually those debates go.
Well, and there's some discussion about whether that ball was tipped as it was blocked before it hit the back of the backboard.
So it looks like they're going to go ahead, and this one's going to stand up in favor of the Bulldogs. Velarde in backcourt. Cascade with some backcourt pressure applied by Wallace and Reese. Velarde against Hess.
Velarde is the primary scorer for Creswell from our scouting information anyway. And so he's a guy that you got to keep an eye on, and you can see that Peyton Maurer is doing a good job of that.
Shot up by the Bulldogs, no good. Tristan Wallace out of backcourt, quickly up the floor to Austin Maurer, and he's got good handles for a 6'11 guy. He's going to shoot from three-point range. His shot The bank is open late. Never mind the style points. If you're a Challenger fan, you'll happily take it.
Gets the Challengers a 6-3 lead, so you'll take every one of those.
Meanwhile, Lee with the basketball now feeds it over for Hodge. Velarde pulls up from the free throw line, and Reese comes away with the rebound. Reese out of backcourt. Finds fifth gear, drives hard to the hole, his shot no good. Peyton Maurer climbs that golden ladder for the rebound, and we have a whistle and a foul called against Creswell.
And that one's going to go on Lee.
For Lee, that'll be his first personal. That's the first foul called in the ball game. Reese looking for a man. Finds Hess. Skip pass over to Austin Maurer. He's going to drive on Velarde. Picks up his dribble, and there's a little bit of contact there.
And number 3, which is Hansen, kind of knocks him on the arm on the way by, and good call there by the official. Challengers get it again under the rim.
6-3 ball game. 5:19 to go in the first. Austin Maurer takes the feed, and he knows what to do with it as he gives the Challengers a 5-point lead.
Nice pass that time by Peyton to get him the ball on the block. He sealed his man behind him, able to make the easy putback.
Velarde between the circles against Peyton Maurer. Bringing it around, Connor Hansen. Drives to the hole, does Hansen, and a turnover by Creswell.
Called for the travel on that kind of double hop step.
Hess will take the inbound. Backcourt of pressure applied by Creswell. Hess runs into a little bit of trouble, manages to collect himself. Wallace will kick it up for Reese. Reese has 4 games in a row where he scored 20 or more. And we have a man down. There on the floor is Caleb Lee, the senior wing.
Did you see what happened? I didn't see what
happened. I did not see. It looked like that was something that happened away from the ball.
And it looks like an ankle from the way Kurt's looking at him.
We'll take a quick timeout with the injury timeout, and we'll be back right here in 30 seconds.
Let me take just a moment and ask you about your vision for your children. What are you seeking for them? What are you hoping your son or your daughter will grow up to be? Highly skilled teaching, a thorough curriculum, art, music, science, athletics, encouraging relationships, all of these and more are part of the community at Grace Cascade Christian Schools, where all of our children feel that they belong.
Being able to mentor them on the football field, to push them in the classroom, and ultimately, most importantly, is to share Christ with them.
Ankle injury for the injured Creswell player. That's Caleb Lee. He's on the bench. And into the ball game now is Tyler Whitson, the freshman guard. Hope it's nothing serious. Kurt Smet, athletic trainer, looking at him. Austin Maurer with a little reverse move, and he can't get it to go. Out of backcourt, Velarde speeding quickly up the floor, and off the window, 4-2 is Jack Nguyen. 3-point ball game. Peyton Maurer feeds Wallace. Wallace with the left hand. He lays it off the glass, and the Challengers are now up by 5.
Yeah, nice job by Wallace of finding the backboard there. Always appreciate anything you get from him on the offensive end.
Absolutely. He's kind of their blue-collar, dirty work guy. Averages about 3 points a game. But by all means, a very athletic guy. He's a running back and linebacker on the football team. Shot by Hodge, no good. Reese out of backcourt. He'll drive hard to the hole, and his shot a little bit too hard, but Wallace is there with the offensive rebound, and we have a whistle and a foul called against the Bulldogs. Bulldogs coming in with a 10-7 record, 1-4 league record, but as you mentioned, Mark, they don't look like the they don't look like a team that is trying to jockey for playoff position in their league.
No, they've kind of had a run of some unlucky games, as I mentioned, as we came online here. Struggled with some of those league games against Harrisburg and Santiam Christian. But we know Santiam Christian, they're a pretty good basketball team. Lost to them by 1, Harrisburg by 5. And their last couple of games, they played Westside and got blown out, but a tight one against Pleasant Hill, a 60-56 loss. So all in all, Creswell, has lost the last few games, a group of games here at the end, but they've been in every one of them pretty much except for that Westside Christian game, and we know how good those guys can be.
Meanwhile, the Challengers coming off of a 20-point victory against Sutherland 5 days ago. This little road win there. They'll resume league play with a road game against South Umpqua on Wednesday night. Tristan Wallace at the free throw line, opportunity to extend the Challenger lead. First attempt, that one is good. Challengers lead by 6. Wallace, the South Medford transfer, didn't get here in enough time to be eligible to play basketball. So he sat and watched and learned last year, and now he's getting a chance to play.
Yeah, and he's really worked on his free throws. Really happy to see him knock down 2 there.
Well, that's one of those things. Anytime you got a kid who works hard, you want to applaud that and encourage that all day long. Glad to see it's paying off for him, as now he has 4 in the ball game. Meanwhile, backing in, little turnaround by Hodge. A good-looking shot, but he just can't get it to go. Ball's loose on the floor. Wallace, Reese driving hard, kicks it up for Hess. He shoots his shot just a little bit long. Out of backcourt, Hanson now over in the corner. That's Hodge with it. Fans looking for a call, but they'll let that one go. Meanwhile, we've got Hanson driving with it, ball taken away by the Challengers. Wallace with it. Out of backcourt to his cousin, Peyton Maurer.
Gather and memories are made. Tap Rock Northwest Grill.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect
12-5 ball game. Daniel Nearing checking into the Challenger lineup. They're going to work it around. On the baseline is Austin Maurer. Cody Reese, his shot a little off to the right, no good, but ball goes out of bounds.
Foul underneath on as Austin was trying to get the rebound.
Carson Williamson, sophomore who just checked in, whistled for his first personal. 14 fouls for Creswell. They'll dump it inside for Nearing. Nearing's going to kick it out for Peyton Maurer. His shot, nothing but net. Man, I tell you what, the thought of it just chokes me up.
Yeah, I can see, Jim. I can see that. that and coaching 6th grade girls, and in an overtime game, I could definitely understand where that would choke you up.
And driving the bus on top of that.
Oh, I know.
Oh, what a day. But I tell you what, love every minute of it.
No, absolutely.
And meanwhile, from downtown is Hodge. His shot, just a little off target. Rebound taken by the Challengers. Austin Maurer going to drive the baseline. And coming away with it on the miss. Velarde quickly up the floor, but it is taken away by Cascade. Cody Reese kicks it back out. Austin Maurer says thank you very much, but unable to hit there. 19 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play.
After making his first three, Austin struggling a little bit trying to make shots here early.
Driving, now they'll go ahead and kick it back out. Williamson tries the shot, and it comes up short. That will end the first quarter of play. Now I'm showing 18-5 on mine. Is it 18-5 or 15-5?
15-5.
15-5, so we'll correct that. And we'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
All right, we're going into the second quarter of play. Challengers with a 10-point lead. I'm not sure where I came up with the extra field goal, but it's a 10-point game at 15-5.
Yeah, good defensive quarter for the Challengers. And another turnover right there for Creswell.
Well, it's been kind of a mix of maladies. They haven't been able to get some of their shots to fall. There's been some good looks. And then throw that in that mix, a couple of turnovers. Meanwhile, Austin Maurer, his shot, it looked good, but it didn't stay. Meanwhile, out of backcourt, Jack Nguyen.
Yeah, very un-Austin-like. He's 2 for 8 to start the game.
Meanwhile, Williamson, sophomore post. He's got good length, and he's drawing Austin away from the hoop. Meanwhile, Velarde going to shoot from downtown. His shot long. Wallace, who's had a good night so far, comes up with the rebound. Austin, Peyton, good ball movement by the Challengers. Austin Maurer going to try this one, and there it goes.
Well, you knew it was going to come back around eventually. Nice dish by Cody as he attacks the middle and kicks it out for Austin.
Well, and you know, a shooter shoots.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to stop.
I mean, that's part of what he's there for, and generally does it pretty well. And you know, that miss is one step closer to his next make. Meanwhile, Hodge.
Nice move that time on Tristan Wallace, little reverse move, and able to get the jumper to go.
18-7 ball game here in the second quarter. Austin Maurer up high, but it is tipped away. Went with the good defense there, and now he's going to go coast to coast. He lays it up and in.
Yeah, it looked like Cody fell awkwardly. I was hoping he was okay, but it looks like he is as the Challengers bring it back up.
Austin Maurer tries to feed Wallace down low. Good hustle by Velarde. Gets Scottish Grove the ball.
2 turnovers in a row for Austin.
Velarde, he's got wheels. Tries to feed it for Williamson, and Wallace is there with the takeaway. Quickly up the floor. Now they're going to feed it for Hess. Austin Maurer. Peyton Maurer going to shoot. And that one just a wee tad long. Velarde comes up with the rebound.
Neither team really shooting the ball that well so far, Jim.
Definitely seen more misses than hits so far. Meanwhile, Cody Reese looking incredulous there, like, who, me? He's whistled for the foul, though, and that is the first foul of the game called against the Challengers.
Well, and Cody's like, I'm in this spot, and I just put my hand out and hit the ball. How's that a foul? All the contact created by the Creswell player. So,
Briley Richardson, number 25, in for the Challenger. He's a freshman that has been the beneficiary of some additional playing time after the injury to Cannon Anderson. Meanwhile, Nearing back in the ball game as Wallace takes a well-earned breather. Velarde. Up top for Hodge. Williamson. Looking for a cutter.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be Velarde with the drive, but a whistle and a foul called against Cascade Christian.
And you notice as soon as someone else ends up guarding Velarde, he's in an immediate attack mode. He wasn't really doing that with Peyton, as Peyton was doing a great job on him. And now he's going to come out after he picks up a foul on Landon Hess.
Hess whistled for his first, just the second team foul for the Challengers. As you mentioned, Velarde out of the ball game. Got Asher Parsons into the contest. Almost midway through the second. Austin Maurer going to take a quick rest. Williamson over in front of the Challenger bench. Now driving the baseline, they're going to pass it across. Nguyen with the drive. And a foul called against the Challengers.
I think that one's on Peyton.
And that will be his first. So, whereas it was a 4-0 team foul count, the Challengers now kind of quickly making up ground, if you know what I mean. Nguyen with the basketball. Now across it goes. Williamson. Cross court to Hodge. Went in front of the Challenger bench. And a timeout called. Nope.
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul called against the Bulldogs. And, you know, I'm just reminded of the Maurer twins, their grandfather, Andy Maurer. You know, for him in football, he only wanted the drives to really go so many plays long, because it just seemed like the longer you go,
the more chance there is for something bad to happen. And that's exactly what happened there with Creswell.
Nearing up top, and that's just where the Challengers just basically took everything away from them. Hess runs down the ball. Peyton Maurer going to shoot. Peyton Maurer's going to score.
He was in here on Sunday for quite a while working on that three, and he's got a couple of them already tonight.
21-9 the ball game, and with Anderson down for a while, that's going to be needed. Good-looking shot by Williamson, but just a little bit long. Austin Maurer with the rebound. Out to Peyton. Up the floor it goes. Austin going to shoot. That one just a little bit short. Nearing tries to get the rebound, but Velarde is there. Velarde wasn't out very long at all, and now he's going to shoot from the baseline. He gets the roll.
His first bucket of the game.
Max Velarde, the junior. And good defense, active hands there by Hodge. Quickly up the floor it goes. And Styler Whitson goes out on the break. Pass tipped away by the Challengers. Wallace and Reese return. Hess and Nearing will go out. Williamson goes to the bench.
Bradley Richardson in for the Challengers as well.
freshman.
Had him for a quarter in the JV game, and he had 8 points in the quarter. Knocked down a couple of threes for me. Played really well in that first quarter.
Well, and you know that's what's going to be valuable for the challengers. You know that Reese is going to get his points off penetration. Austin's going to give you a mix of different things. But if they can get guys like Peyton Maurer, Landon Hess, and Richardson knocking down the perimeter shots, that's going to be a real boon for the challengers. Meanwhile, dialing up distance is Whitson. He can't make the connection. Quickly up the floor it goes. Richardson with it. Misses the shot. Ball tipped away. Last touched by the challengers. And with 2:25 left to go and what has been a quick-paced ball game, the challengers' lead is 10.
Well, there haven't been a lot of fouls called. You mentioned it earlier, just 8 fouls called so far in this one. Both teams playing pretty clean, and the clock keeps running.
Called a game on Saturday that was between the South Eugene and Grants Pass girls. That was the polar opposite. I never thought that game was going to end. Reese out of backcourt. Quickly up the floor. Richardson's going to fire from 3. He knocks it down.
I told you that kid could make a 3.
Yes, he has. He definitely has not lost anything between the JV game and this one. Hey, I want to remind you that the Oregon Athletic Officials Association and the Oregon Schools Activities Association, they're looking for umpires in baseball and softball. Register at www.osaa.org/officials and click on the registration tab. Becoming a high school official has several benefits, including staying involved. 24-11, late here in the first quarter. Challengers up by 13. Today's game brought to you by our regional sponsors, including Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less, John L. Scott Real Estate and Travel Medford, and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission. Great partners in keeping high school athletics streaming for you.
Lots of discussion about that timeout because I think the challengers actually called it prior to the ball coming in bounds. So I think Creswell's going to get it. It was just a late whistle on the call, I think.
I tell you what, coaching middle school ball, I have a brand new appreciation for officials. And some of the things, I tell you what, those games could go on for 5 hours if you called everything.
So now the challengers with a little full court man pressure here. See what they can do with that.
Dylan Westlake, scrappy defender into the ball game. He's number 23.
If anybody should know how to break this press, it would be Creswell because they run it themselves.
But you know, it's kind of funny. It seems like teams that press don't like to be pressed.
Yeah, sometimes that's true. As Hodge misses a jumper in the lane.
Meanwhile, Hess feeds it to Wallace. Wallace gets clobbered. And I don't mean that in the egregious sense of the word. Just a good hard foul, and that'll earn him a trip to the free throw line.
Well, a nice ball fake, head fake by Wallace, too. Gets guys up in the air, and then you're almost always going to get that foul call once the guys are up in the air.
Wallace. First free throw attempt. Oh.
Rolls off.
He's got 4 in the ball game, and he's been an active player for Cascade this evening.
And he's done a good job on the glass, attacking the offensive boards and also boxing guys out on the defensive end.
Second attempt. That one rims out. And the rebound controlled by the Bulldogs. Velarde. Up the floor he goes. Williamson just kind of turned his head for a split second. It looked like he might have been a little surprised by that. Reese going to drive hard to the hole, and he lays it up and in. Cody Reese riding a streak of 4 consecutive 20-point games. The lone senior on the Challenger roster has come up big of late. Over on the wing, Asher Parsons now back up to win. He shoots off to the left, and there's Reese with the rebound. Out of backcourt he goes. Bounce pass, Westlake, and
he should have just attacked the rim. I don't know what he was doing there.
I think he thought Peyton Maurer was going to go, but Peyton, I think, was more in the cleanup mode. And you're right. Just with that, just take it home. Meanwhile, shooting from downtown, knocking it down, Tyler Whitson. His three-pointer gives the Bulldogs 14 on the night. They've scored 9 in the second after just scoring 5 in the first. 11 seconds to go in the half. Reese going to get a screen from Wallace. Down in the corner, Westlake feeds it to Austin Maurer. Cody Reese says, I'll shoot it. And it's off to the right. That'll end the first half of play in non-conference action. The Cascade Christian Challengers up by 12. It's the Challengers 26 and the Bulldogs 14. And when we return, we'll bring you the Medford Parks and Rec halftime show. And that will follow these messages on TableRockSports.net.
You're a coach or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, Goliath! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Workers' comp claim was denied. Or was it accepted? Now what are you supposed to do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
The President's Day event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is MotorTrend's back-to-back-to-back 3-peat Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a President's Day event deal all month long on every new vehicle in stock. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Waiting, even a few days, to report a work injury or illness could cost you everything. But how do you know what you should do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
Our halftime report is brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Winter Recreation Guide is out with sports leagues and activities to sign up for now. Visit playmedford.com or call 774-2400 to find out more. Non-conference action here between the Cascade Christian Challengers and the Creswell Bulldogs. A couple of teams that have had some really good battles over the years. I can remember particularly spirited contest played by the teams a couple of years ago. You and I struggling to find the place at first, but once we got settled in there, it was an entertaining ball game. And it always seems like this Creswell team is always right in the thick of things. And of course, here they are trying to make their case and try to better their number 14 OSAA power ranking standing.
Yeah, and the Challengers. You know, this is, I believe, Jim, believe it or not, this is a reciprocal of that game that we went up to Creswell a couple of years ago and actually did up at Creswell. And this game is the, since the season was weird last year, this is the game that sort of Creswell coming down here since we went up there a couple of years ago. So, and Coach, he tries to do that with most of the teams that he plays in the non-conference. He'll play a game at their place and a game at our place.
Okay.
And so that was kind of the reciprocal of that. Anyway, shooting tonight, the Challengers doing a great job defensively, as you can see. Two single-digit quarters for Creswell. They got 5 in the first, 9 in the second to get to their 14. The Challengers, 15 in the first quarter, 13 in the second quarter. So a nice job by Cascade of doing the things they want to do offensively and defensively, holding Creswell to single digits. and scoring, well, close to 15 points a quarter, at least in the first half. So shooting for Cascade Christian, 9 for 21, that's 43%. 2 for 4 from the free throw line, 50%. Shooting for Creswell, 6 for 20 in the first half, that's just 30%. So Challengers doing a good job of holding them to a pretty low shooting percentage, and they didn't shoot a free throw. And we talked about, a pretty clean game, pretty quick game so far because neither team really doing a lot of fouling. The most anybody has, by my count, is Williamson. He's got 2, and everyone else, no one else has more than 1 foul. So a nice job by both teams playing clean basketball. 5 turnovers for the Challengers, 8 turnovers for Creswell, so pretty close in the turnover department as well. But the Challengers just shooting better, 9 for 21 versus 6 for 20, and that's why they lead it at the half, 26-14. Scoring first for Creswell, Nigan has 4, Tyler Whitson with 3, Max Velarde with 2, and A.J. Hodge has 5 to lead the way for Creswell. For the Challengers, Cody Reese has 2, Tristan Wallace has 4, Peyton Maurer has 6, Landon Hess has 3, Austin Maurer with 8, and Briley Richardson with 3. And so I'd love to see, you got 6 guys in the scoring column here, and nobody with more than 8 points as the Challengers spreading the ball around, got everybody involved. Good to see that because that's not something we've seen all season long.
No, as a matter of fact, it's very tempting if you're a casual observer of Challenger basketball to think that maybe that the Challengers are kind of a one-man operation, knowing what Austin Maurer can do with that incredible 6'11" height and athleticism that he has to go with it. And he's averaging 25 points a game on the season. But what we've seen of late, Cody Reese has stepped up big, and the little 5'10" guard is averaging nearly 15 points a game. And then you see a night like tonight, and that's the thing, when you think about it, you know what's going to happen should the Challengers go to state tournament. Rightfully so. Austin Maurer is going to draw a lot of attention. And if you got the guys that can knock down the shots on the kickouts, like a Peyton Maurer, like a Briley Richardson, like a Landon Hess, and those players, then it makes life a heck of a lot easier and allows Austin Maurer and Cody Reese to be all that much more dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to have other guys that can score the basketball. And, you think about it, Cody's averaging 15, Austin 25. There's 40 points, right? Mm-hmm. So there's 40 points for the Challengers if they hit their average. To win an average high school game, you got to score 60. So they need another 20 points from the rest of those guys. And Tristan Wallace has been giving them a consistent 6 or so. So those other 2 guys need to give them 6 each too, at least Landon Hess and Peyton Maurer. So we'll see if that can develop here over the last part of the regular season, as it really needs to, because you took away a guy that was averaging about 10 when you got rid of Cannon Anderson broke his wrist. So you got to come up with those points from other places if you're gonna stay competitive. Every team needs at least 3 scores to be consistently effective on offense.
Well, and you think a couple of weeks ago in the tussle between the Challengers and the St. Mary's Crusaders, that game, they did a little box-and-one action and limited Austin to 13 points. Good news, Cody Reese went off that night.
Yep.
And gave him a nice lift that way. But, you know that there's some good quality coaches around the state of Oregon, and they're going to do everything within their power to try to negate what Austin Maurer can do for you. That's all a part of that chess match that is high school basketball. So that is encouraging to look at. What I think, defensively, we know what the Challengers will endeavor to do, because it's always about that man-to-man defense that Coach Morris preaches. I know in my game earlier today, I had kids begging me to go to a zone. It's like we don't run it here. We just don't run it here. And you're gonna learn to play that man-to-man, and that's a big part of what Cascade Christian does as a team, and they've got guys that can do that. But you got to be able to put points on the board as well.
Yeah, you have to not just be a defensive specialist. You have to also be at least effective. Scoring 6 to 8 points on the other end of the court, as we've seen guys like Tristan do. inside on the glass, getting those offensive rebounds and putbacks, and or making a three, like you said, on a kick out, like we saw Landon Hess in the first half. So those are the shots that are important for the challengers to make, just to keep the other team honest.
Yes, and then when you have that kind of going, it's a hard thing to stop. Talking about the defense, I remember where I was going to go with all of that originally, was just thinking about, we knew Velarde was going to be a big assignment for the challengers, and they've been able to kind of keep him in check.
Yeah, he's 1 for 6 with just 2 points in the first half, so really nice job on him, mostly by Peyton Maurer. So if you can take out one of the better players on the other team to where he's very ineffective in the game, it makes the other team change their whole method of operation as far as offensively.
So that's where you can see probably, they'd love to see when, up his production, and we've seen some of that. And of course, in a couple of cases, they've had some looks. They just haven't been able to get them to go. Halftime is brought to you by PlayMedford.com, where classes and activities for the entire family are available. Registration for winter and spring are happening now. Sign up at PlayMedford.com or call the Santos Center at 774-2400. Here we go, beginning of the second half. Challenger basketball. Austin Maurer gets the Challengers off to a nice start.
Yeah, nice double screen set there for Austin, and a turnover right away. Challengers pick up as well.
Reese out of backcourt. He'll drive hard to the hole. Velarde there with the defense. And that will send Cody Reese to the free throw line. You talked about it. First half, we did not see a lot of foul calls in the contest. Somewhat the nature of the flow of the game. Reese makes the first one.
That's one thing about Cody. Very reliable free throw shooter, at least so far this year for the Challengers.
Second attempt on its way, and it is good. We've had years where the Challengers have not been that, and it sure makes life a lot easier, especially for your coaching staff, when you can knock them down. Win with the basketball. He had a solid first half. Lee went down with an ankle injury in the first half. So Creswell missing one of their starters. Hodge on the kick out. He'll drive, and it is broken up by Reese and the Challengers. Reese against Velarde, and Velarde with the defense to disrupt. He gets the rebound. Max. Now for A.J. Hodge. Meanwhile, pulling it up and shooting at the free throw line. Parsons misses the shot. And a steal by Hess. Hess. Foul in the backcourt. That'll go against Whitson.
Challengers doing a good job of getting some turnovers here early and making Creswell pay on the other end with some good made shots.
Walsh with the basketball. Move the ball around the horn. Austin Maurer, his shot just a little bit long. But there is Wallace to Peyton Maurer. Shot long. Wallace goes inside, and he gets it to go.
Yeah, nice hard work by Tristan Wallace. Pays off again with another bucket. He's got 6 now.
5:48 to go in the third.
Challengers running that 1-3-1 right now.
Hodge with the rock goes inside to Velarde. Now a baseline shot by Nguyen. Won't go. Austin Maurer trying to fight for that rebound, and they say he touched it last as it goes out.
Challengers come out of the 1-3-1 on an inbounds play and go man. You can see that here.
Hodge. Whitson, Velarde, he'll pull up, shoot. Shot rims off. Maurer with the corral. Guard-to-guard exchange. Now they find Wallace. Wallace is going to go to the hole.
Gets that one blocked.
Tried to finesse it, and it just didn't materialize. Hodge. Up high. Hodge going to fire from downtown, and he buries it.
Yeah, he's the guy that you seem to have to watch. He can knock down that three, and better get out on him if they're going to play that 1-3-1 zone.
They don't give us heights on this roster, but you kind of get the feeling that they've got a lot of guys with wing size on this team. Not a real big man per se, but a lot of interchangeable parts. Hess is going to shoot, and Hess is going to score.
Nice shot by Landon. Good skip pass that time by Maurer.
Nice what quick ball movement can give you. Try to dump it inside. Williamson tries to make a move, but Austin Maurer is there. You could tell he was kind of conscious of it, too. Meanwhile, Reese off the feed, and there's Maurer with the flush. Cheat code warming up here in the third.
And the Challengers getting some good opportunities and fast breaks off the 1-3-1, which is really what it's designed to do.
Around the horn it goes. Velarde has a look from the short corner, and he knows what to do. He knocks it down. Creswell going to call timeout here with 3:42 to go in the third. We will do the same. Stick around. We'll be back with more following these messages.
We'll always be there.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Avista Utilities and our friends from My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Morning motivation, crunch in your lunch, and fuel for your road trip begins with My Circle K.
Interested to see if the Challengers come back to the 1-3-1. They got a couple of threes made on them against it. I think if I were them, I'd have a tendency to want to go back to the man-to-man, but let's see what they do after the timeout. They got a few turnovers, too, so there's a pluses and minuses with running that 1-3-1.
Well, I was going to ask you, talk about the purpose of the 1-3-1 as the Challengers run it.
Well, it's just an alternative defense where they can get a chance to try to get some quick turnovers and some runouts, which, you know, it usually is they're usually pretty good at doing.
Reese and the Challengers, backcourt pressure. Richardson there. He's running into a little bit of trouble, but he has Reese there. Cody. And a timeout call. They're in a little bit of trouble there.
They got to get Austin into the middle against that 2-2-1 press is what they're supposed to be doing, but they tend to not pay attention sometimes to what they're supposed to be doing, and you could see that coach was not happy with how that was going, and he immediately calls a timeout.
Well, with those press breaks, you know, I think, you know, one of those things you try to do, you want to make sure you got a guy on the sideline on the ball side, and that critical guy is a man in the middle.
Well, it has to be, because they're basically trying to use the sideline and the half-court line to trap you, and so you don't want to get anywhere in, you know, between the volleyball lines and on either side of half court is where they're trying to trap you, between the two volleyball lines in the middle of the court, and you just want to stay away from that area altogether.
So the Bulldogs at least having a measure of success of they didn't allow the Challengers to get anything quick out of their last rebound. Reese, and now they'll kick it out. Richardson's going to shoot. Richardson with his second triple of the evening, and I tell you what, these Challengers have got it going on from distance.
Yeah, well, he's been a kid that worked. He worked on Sunday so hard on his three-point shot, and it's really paid off. You can see it.
Well, the Challengers have had their ups and downs with the perimeter shot over the season. There will be times where they'll get lightning hot. Even Austin Maurer maybe been one of our most consistent. And we have good defense by the Challengers as a 5-second violation's called.
And again, the Challengers putting the pressure on. That's the one thing they do very well, no matter who's in the game. and they're able to get the turnover in with a 20-point lead now. They can feel like they're in control of this basketball game, I think.
Hess, Reese, little turnaround at the free throw line by Nearing. He can't get it to go, but he gets his own rebound. He's going to try it again, and that one's good. Daniel Nearing. Banger off the bench for the challengers. Velarde. Now Hodge. He'll drive. He'll get it down in the corner. Now for Williamson. Hodge will feed it for Nguyen. He'll have to kick it out. That challenger defense is just everywhere. That's been kind of the challenge. And they'll go ahead and call Austin for the reach.
Yeah, they're going to call Austin. They're going to call Cody. They're going to call Cody.
Oh, they're going to call Cody. All right. For Reese, that'll be his second personal of the ball game. Hess and Nearing going to come out. Peyton Maurer and Tristan Wallace back into the ball game.
Yeah, I think the challenge have a good rotation tonight. It seems like everybody's sort of been involved, and they haven't had that lapse that we've seen them have, where they don't score points and they let teams back in it. So at least so far in the second half, that hasn't happened.
Well, I'm glad you said it and not me.
yeah, we don't
want to employ the jinx factor there. Shot in and out by Nguyen. But yeah, you're right. Challengers here with a good solid third. Austin Maurer, his shot flat. Just a wee bit short.
Rushed that one a little bit.
Quickly up the floor. Velarde says, I'm going to try one of those. And his shot off target. And it bounces out of bounds. And it'll be Challenger basketball. 1:16 to go in the third. As you can see on your John L. Scott scoreboard. 42-20 is the count thus far on the night. Little discussion going on between Coach Thomas and the official.
I'm not sure he's buying that, because I was wondering myself. It didn't look like it was off of the challengers.
Meanwhile, quickly up the floor to Richardson. He misses the shot, but Peyton Mauer's there, and he knocks down the putback.
Nice follow by Peyton.
Well, that's what I tell the kids on the breaks. On the breaks, let's have some trailers. Let's have some guys on the weak side. You never know. Those are some good, easy opportunities. And talk about opportunities. Knocking it down from long range, Tyler Whitson.
That's his second three of the game.
Cody Reese going to glide out of backcourt. Briley Richardson. Peyton Maurer finds Austin. They'll dump it down low for Wallace. Tristan Wallace.
8 points for Wallace tonight.
I think his season high, if I'm not mistaken, is 9. And again, this is a guy that scoring from him is a bonus when you look for so many other things that he does well. Whitson. But to me, that's an indication that what the challengers are doing is going well for them. Screen there by Williamson. Whitson for three.
He buries another one. He's got 3 threes.
And that will end the third quarter of play. After 3, it is the Challengers 46, the Bulldogs 26. We'll be back right after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between 7,000 and 10,000. Be there.
The Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3P Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Start of the fourth quarter. Challengers and Bulldogs here. Upcoming action, North Douglas road date coming up for Creswell in the lovely town of Drain in North Douglas County. Challengers road date with South Umpqua on Wednesday night, and then they're at home against Douglas on Friday. Cody Reese out of backcourt. He gets gone in a hurry. Peyton Maurer shot just a little bit short. Out of backcourt. Velarde. Nguyen. Swing it for Williamson. Velarde, his shot rims off. Wallace there with the rebound.
That's got to be Wallace's 9th or 10th rebound. He's just been killing it on the glass.
He has been working hard this evening. Meanwhile, a drive to the hoop. Cody Reese. I don't know that he's going to get 20 tonight, but he has still been highly effective for the Challengers in what has been a very effective attack for them.
Well, he's done a lot of drive and kick type stuff all night long to open shooters.
Free throw attempt is good. Reese with another as the Challengers lead by 21. Make that 22.
Yeah, he's only got 6 points tonight, but he's been very effective in those 6 points. A lot of assists.
Hess with a steal in the backcourt. Austin Maurer going to shoot. That one just a little bit short. Williamson out of backcourt. Up the floor to Hodge. Skip pass. They're going to work it down in the corner to Nguyen. He'll kick it out. And I tell you, you can just tell, it was like, what do we have to do to get an open look? Cascade's just not giving them.
No, they really aren't. That time a block by Austin Maurer.
He's been collecting those throughout the evening, and that's why we call him cheat code. He'll fill up the stat sheet in all kinds of ways. Not the least of which is being a rim protector, which Cascade hasn't had many of those over the years. Meanwhile, over in the corner, Hodge is going to take it. Shot just a little bit long. Austin Maurer with the rebound. Reese, Peyton Maurer, Austin, going to drive. Nearing in the ball game. Feeds it low post. Austin Maurer. Foul on the floor. That'll go against Hodge.
It's his second foul.
And again, not many fouls called.
Just 5 here in the second half, and I think we only had 8 in the first half, so it's been a clean, quick game.
Nearing. Reese. He knocks it down from long distance. Cody Reese. Huge improvement of late from downtown.
Yeah, he's got 9.
Hodge penetrates, finds Nguyen. Good idea there. Velarde. And now it'll be Parsons. That shot just a little bit short. Karam comes out to Peyton Maurer. Landon Hess with it. He'll glide to the hole. He knocks it down. Everybody getting into the act tonight.
8 points for Hess. We talked about it at the top. That's what the Challengers need. A few more points from some of the different guys besides Austin and Cody, and the Challengers doing it tonight.
Now, probably I would tend to think of Landon as being more of a pure shooter than a scorer type, but
you just need him to take advantage of the opportunities he has, like that one, where he tacks the rim, gets a bucket, those are the kind of things that you want to see from him. So that's really good so far, both by him and by Peyton Maurer tonight.
Yes. And then Richardson off the bench for good measure. Meanwhile, nice feed inside. I tell you, Peyton may be lobbying Coach Getman. See what I can do here to thread the needle?
That was a good pass right there.
Keith Reed might have something to say about that, though. But I tell you what, Peyton did become a big factor in the Challengers' passing game during football season. Ball's tipped around. Austin Maurer going to go hard to the hole, gets physical, and he knocks it in. Velarde. Win. And a steal by the Challengers. Reese quickly up the floor. Too much mustard on that pass.
The Challengers not with too many. That's their first turnover, at least unofficially here in the second half. So they've really taken care of the ball tonight. That's only turnover number 6. So great job by them. This I would say we're not done with the fourth quarter, but I would say so far this is the best 4 quarters put together that I've seen the Challengers play.
Agreed. Velarde, his shot, in and out. Heartbreak. Williamson trying to give him another opportunity, but stepped out of bounds with it. Bulldogs trying hard to find some answers here. And in that whole mix of things, some backcourt pressure. Quickly up the floor it goes to Peyton Maurer. Austin going to shoot from downtown. That one rolls off, but Wallace is there. He'll give it up for Reese. Reese can't get it to go, and Wynn's there for the rebound. Good tenacity by the Bulldogs not to give up on it. Parsons. Actually, that's Whitson. My apologies there. They'll kick it out. Wynn with it. Parsons is number 11. He's got the ball right now.
And the Bulldogs do a good job of moving the basketball. It's just the Challengers have really stayed in front and helped when they've needed to.
With Velarde there, then a little battle going on between Austin Maurer and Williamson underneath the hoop. Carson Williamson, the sophomore post. By the best I can tell, he's the tallest player that they've got.
Yeah, he's got to be about 6'4" or 5", it looks like to me.
Yeah. Well, you can tell this Bulldog team, very athletic. Just been up against some very tough competition.
Landon doing a good job of chasing Velarde around now after Cody goes out, or actually, after Peyton went out.
Win. And now shooting is Velarde. And Wallace with a long rebound.
Just not Velarde's night.
No, it's not.
He's 2 for 13.
Meanwhile, Hess tries to get it inside. It looked like Wallace is there. Now Reese is going to shoot. And his shot just a little off the mark. And rebound taken by Tyler Whitson. Parsons gets a screen. Meanwhile, off the side of the backboard, they keep it alive. And now substitutions in the ball game nearing Westlake. Brody Sample, Mason Hoffman, and Kellen Clucker, the victory cigar, into the ball game.
There you go. And it hasn't been often the Challengers have been able to do this year. This is one of the first games. So, like I said, 4 quarters of well-played basketball by Cascade Christian and 55 points here with 2 minutes to go.
Oh, Clucker, every day I see him in the hallway. Hi, Mr. McCoy. You can almost kind of tell, put in a little love for me tonight. And I was like, okay, Kellen, here's your chance.
Well, there's a running bet on how long it's going to take him to get a shot up pretty much every night.
Meanwhile, Mason Hoffman, his cousin underneath, he can't get that little Almost kind of a baby hook looking shot to go.
He had a nice JV game for me tonight.
He's definitely done some growing in the last year. And
Hodge
Creswell
with another bucket for Creswell.
He has quietly had a good night. Had a couple of big threes.
Yeah, he's got 10.
Kelvin Klecker, sample. Mason Hoffman, his shot short. Rebound taken by Whitson. Out of backcourt he goes. Williamson now back to his point guard. Shot from downtown. No good. Nearing got a hand on it. Now it comes out to Brody Sample. Cascade Christian calling a timeout as Eli Bryant gets ready to check into the ball game. It's give me an opportunity to do a little bit of sponsorship recognition, as we say. And our thanks to our sponsors who make this live high school athletic action available for you, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore, Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Also, thanks to our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, with 7 locations to serve you. And, of course, anybody who knows Southern Oregon sports knows that Mark and I have been the play-by-play guys for Cascade Christian for now about 13 years and kind of working on the inside a little bit. We're very well aware of the role that sponsors of Challenger Athletics play in things. That includes presenting sponsor George Fox University, and then also some of our purple level sponsors like Mini Pet Mart, Central Equipment, Lithia Auto Store, Shady Cove Family Dentistry, Trinity Counseling, Dorner Enterprises, Harry Gerhard with Farmers Insurance, Big Town Hero, Dairy Queen, and Reese Electric. I think I got them pretty well covered.
There you go. Nice work.
Thank you very much. Oh, it's always fun to be here, Mark, on a midweek night or an early week night.
Early work night tonight.
And watch these kids play. Eli Bryant seeing some action and
unfortunately turned the ball over.
6'4", freshman, right?
Yeah, he's been sick. He'd had a big battle with some sickness this year and has been in and out of practice actually because of it.
Well, now he's going to get a little opportunity here late in the ball game, and Hodge shoots and ball's off target. Win with the offensive rebound. And I like to see that hustle from that Bulldog squad. They may be down by 27, but you don't know it by the way they're playing. Meanwhile, gliding hard to the hole and knocking it down is Whitson.
Yes, and there's your cigar trying to play defense.
A work in progress.
Yes, absolutely.
Kellen Klecker, well, there we go. The bank didn't work for him. The ATM got stuck.
Must have.
Brody Sample, now to Klecker. His dad, Rob, the mentor for the girls volleyball program, 2-time state champion and perennial contender. Klecker going to make a move, and he gets it to go.
Well, there you go.
Tonight, a bucket for the Cascade varsity. Tomorrow, the NBA.
Well, I think that is his first varsity bucket, so good for him.
All right, and that'll wind down the clock and wind down our ball game. The Cascade Christian Challengers pick up a victory now and run their record to 14-4 on the season, opening up what is going to be a very busy week of basketball. As I mentioned earlier, they'll be on the road at South Umpqua on Wednesday night. Our next broadcast on TableRockSports.net will come on Friday night against Douglas, and then a little bit of non-conference action on Saturday against Oakland. And thankfully, if you're the Challengers, it's not at the Nut House. And that'll...
Yeah. That's a whole nother story, Jim.
Yes, it is. Those who've been around Challenger basketball for a while, well, they know what that's all about. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll bring you our post-game show, and that'll follow these messages on TableRockSports.net.
At 3 o'clock, Carter's campaign for class president will go live. His platform?
Thirsty for change?
Juice boxes for all. At 4, Liz will bid online and win.
Yes! Yes!
Which is why at 2, I'm down the street preparing for the storm. So no matter what, the show will go on.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with Crispy Crunchy Chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K. Whether it's some Monday motivation to kickstart your day, adding some crunch to your lunch, or fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and pinch hitter Colin Treadway coming in here tonight to lend us a little bit of support on the camera. White, if you're watching along the way, we hope you get to feeling better soon, but things have been in good hands here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion. Challengers, pretty much right from the outset, really asserted themselves early and took a 15-5 lead into the second quarter, and all throughout the night, Mark alluded to it earlier, and I would concur that the Challengers with a good, solid 4 quarters of basketball, and that hasn't always been the case for Cascade Christian. They've had their times where in a 32-minute basketball game, maybe they play 28 good minutes, and those 4 minutes they don't kind of worry you half to death. But in this game, they were solid throughout, and I think, Mark, as you get into the post-game stats, I think what we're going to uncover here is not only a consistent effort by the Challengers, but also a balanced effort by the team, which you got to like.
And yeah, you got to love that. You got 9, 8, 8, 9, 8, 8, 8, 14, 6. From those Challenger main players, and we haven't seen that this season. We haven't seen consistent scoring from everybody that plays, and tonight we got that. The high scorer being 14 from Austin Maurer, Cody Reese with 9, Tristan Wallace 8, Peyton Maurer 8, Landon Hess 8, Briley Richardson with the 2 threes. He had 6, and Daniel Nearing and Kellen Klecker each with a bucket. But you got to love the contributions from everybody. Is what you got to love. Challengers shoot 21 for 49. That's 43%. So not great, but you'll take that in a high school game, 43%. They just had 7 turnovers, though. Did a great job in the second half, only 2 turnovers. And everybody scored. Challengers controlled the game throughout, especially in the second half. Had a 12-point lead at the end of half and really expanded that in the third quarter to 20 and kind of won it going away with a 27-point win. But like I mentioned, it's the first game we've seen this season where the Challengers have really played 4 solid quarters without that letting the team back in at some point during the game. And that's what I like to see. That's growth on the Challengers' part. We'll see if they can continue that trend against on the road at South Umpqua and home for Douglas on Friday, as it's a busy week for Cascade Christian basketball this week. Scoring for the Bulldogs for Creswell, Nigan had 4, Tyler Whitson had 11, Max Velarde with just 5 points, and A.J. Hodge has had 10. So they only had 4 kids in the scoring column, and they scored just 30 points, as the Challengers did a great job defensively. Again, they were 12 for 43. That's 28%. They end up with 15 turnovers in the ball game to just 7 for the Challengers. So pretty dominant performance really by Cascade Christian, and like I said, the best in my recollection of this season, the best overall game that we've seen Cascade play.
So that'll put the wraps on it in a busy, busy week this week. On the road against South Umpqua on Wednesday night. Then they'll be at it again at home on Friday night against Douglas. Then an action non-conference game against Oakland, always a fierce opponent. The final score on this ball game, 57-30. Our thanks to our executive director for Table Rock Sports, Joe Brett. And again, thanks to Colin Treadway for coming in and pinch hitting tonight. And for Mark McLemore, I'm Jim McCoy. Say thank you very much for joining us. Be sure to remember our sponsors for products and services, and be sure to thank them for their contribution to making this all possible. Don't forget about our YouTube channel. You can go there, become a subscriber, and it'll keep you up to date with on-demand viewing opportunities. Well, that'll wrap up things here. Good night, everybody.